gentlemen, my name's Dave Gorman, and with the help of this audience, that laptop, and this remote control, I'd like to show you some things. Things that I've either made or found, but things that I hope will convince you that modern life is good-ish. Now, I want to start this show by addressing the ladies. I have a question for the ladies. It's a very simple question. The question is this. Ladies, please tell me, what is the point of the cushion? Now, you know what I'm talking about. Don't pretend you don't. What is the point of the cushion? You're looking at me, I can see these feminine faces looking all faux confused, as if you don't know what I'm talking about. You know. For some of the men here who clearly don't know, I'll explain to you, OK? I'll explain. That is a picture of my bed, ladies and gentlemen. That is where the magic happens. Yeah, card tricks mainly, but that is what my bed looked like when I was single. But this is what my bed looks like now. I'm married now, that's what my bed looks like. That is the difference there, before, after. It's very simple. It's not exactly page 97 in Take a Break magazine Spot the Difference competition, is it? No. It's the cushion. It's clearly the cushion. This particular cushion has never once, not once in its life, ever been sat on. This cushion has never once, not ever, made anyone's life more comfortable. It has never done any of the things that cushions were brought into this world so to do. What happens with this cushion is we put it on the bed when we leave the room in the morning, and then when we come back in to go to bed, we take the cushion off the bed, and there's nowhere else for it to go, so we put it on the floor. Effectively, we've got a cushion that is like a very antisocial cat. Sleeps on our bed all day when we're not there, and then when we come in, it disappears. It's like owning a cat without any of the negative side of owning a cat, and without any of the positive side of owning a cat. It's a completely pointless exercise. I don't know what it's for. I've said to Mrs. Gorman, why do you have this cushion? What is it for? And she said, well, because it looks nice. Does it? Do you think it looks nicest when it's on the floor and you can't see it because you're in bed? Or do you think it looks nicest when it's on the bed and you can't see it because you're not there? And Mrs. Gorman just doesn't understand why I don't get it. So to help her get it, to try and explain my case, what I've started doing is keeping a hat on the toilet. That's where it lives. And the first time she saw that, she was like, well, what's that doing there? And I said, that's where I'm keeping it. I think it looks nice. And she said, but it gets in the way when you want to use the toilet. You've got to put it on the floor. I said, no, you don't. Not at all. That is my shitting hat. That is the hat I wear when I'm on the toilet. There I am, wearing it there. That is my shitting hat. Thank you very much. And she said, this is embarrassing. People are going to come round, they're going to see this when they come to the house. If they use the loo, they're going to see it, they're going to ask questions. I said, that makes it better than the cushion then, doesn't it? Because people don't see the cushion. Nobody who visits our house pops into our bedroom for no reason whatsoever, do they? But they do visit the loo. That makes the hat more decorative than the cushion. That gives it more purpose. She said, yeah, but it's weird. People have cushions that look nice. That's normal. People don't have shitting hats. I said, they do, actually. They do. She said, name one person who's got a shitting hat. I said, I will. Her name is Natasha Litton. She said, who's that? I said, I haven't got a clue, but she's on Twitter, and as you can see, she's left her shitting hat in Waterloo. I think you'll find I'm not alone. Other people have shitting hats. And if this TV show serves any purpose, please, please, please let it be this. If you find Natasha Litton's shitting hat, please, please, please get in touch. What is this weird level of conspicuous consumption we've arrived at in the affluent West, where we can buy things specifically not to use, to not even be looked at, to exist effectively in our imaginations? Sometimes you have no choice. I'll give you an example. This is my sink, ladies and gentlemen. That is my sink at home. That, ladies, is where the magic happens. Okay. Card tricks mainly, but that is my sink. That is what my sink looked like when I was a single, unmarried man. I'm married now, and my sink looks different. Now, my sink looks like that. So that's before, that's after. Again, it's not a tricky spot the difference competition, is it? People are going to spot it is the sink strainer. Now, I'm okay with the sink strainer. I understand the point of the sink strainer. I'm on board with the sink strainer. In fact, I enjoy providing that kind of thing because it involves shopping in my favourite shops. I genuinely love these shops. I live in Bethnal Green in the East End of London. We have a plethora of what are called pound shops. I'm not talking about the new chain store pound shops, I'm not about Poundland and all those. I'm talking about the old-fashioned things we just used to call pound shops, whether they call themselves that or not. I'm talking about things like this, £1 items on the front of the shop and this kind of thing. Baby shop, £1 shop plus, where they sell absolutely everything. They've got everything in there. You've got baby wear and accessories, for example. You've got household goods, for example. You've got... New Allworth, for example. I love these shops, I genuinely do. This is the shop next door to the baby shop, £1 shop plus. This is, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the words £1 shop there, because as you can see, it's not. It's not. Which presumably is why they have to have £1 shop plus on the front of it. They sell things that are less than £1, things that are £1, and things that are more than £1 in that shop. If I was them, I would just call it shop. We all, however, colloquially refer to them as the pound shops, and there are many in my part of town, and I love them because they sell everything. As you can see, they've got, for example, toiletries, stationery, that says tools wrapped in the corner there, storage boxes, fashions, electrical, and fancy goods. And fancy goods is my favourite. That is the catch-all term to describe everything else that they sell. Many of those things are definitely not fancy, and you know that they include sink strainers. But the trouble with these shops is they revolve around this shape. This is the shape that allows these shops to exist. It's that little hole at the top. It's that shape that allows you to put more than one piece of cardboard with similar packed items onto a spike in the wall. It's basically the place of the blister pack economy. That's what happens in these shops, the blister pack economy. And when what you do is take small items and blister pack them to cardboard and you put them on hooks on a wall, you don't think, how many of these things would someone like to buy? If someone was in the market for one of these things, how many of these things would they like? Instead, you think, how many of these things do we need to put on a piece of cardboard in order to take the price point to about £1? And the answer to those two questions is different, which is why, when I want to buy a sink strainer, I end up coming back with that. Why would anyone ever want 6 sink strainers? The most sinks I've ever seen in a kitchen is 2. That is at least 3 times as many sink strainers as anyone could want. Basically, a 6-pack of sink strainers doesn't exist to satisfy the demand for people who want 6 sink strainers. It exists to satisfy the demand of shops that charge £1. You end up getting things like this. 4 potato peelers. 4 potato peelers for £1.15. That says £1.15 because the family that peels together feels together. Why would anyone want 4 potato peelers? 16-piece keychain set for £1.49. How many people who are shopping on Bethnal Green Road in East London do you think are also running a small caravan park? I don't think very many. That's not a sensible number of keychains for a normal person to buy, is it? And you get things like 20-piece suction hooks. Who needs 20? Is there a cat burglar buying those thinking I can scale the shard if I use them carefully enough? I reckon I can do that. Of course it's not. £1.69 for 20 suction. Why would anyone want 20 suction hooks? I suppose it's somewhere to keep all your key rings, I suppose. These next two are my favourites. These were bought in adjacent shops. In one shop, you get this. The 12-piece comb set. For £1.29. Remember that number. Remember £1.29. 12 combs for £1.29. You want a comb, and somehow you're forced into buying a round of combs. Don't worry, everyone, the combs are on me. It doesn't happen, does it? Meanwhile, in the shop next door, a 6-piece comb set. 12 combs cost £1.29. 6 combs, £1.30. That's hardly a tricky maths test, is it? I don't think so. Work this out with me. What's your name, by the way, sir? Rich. Nice to meet you, Rich. Work this out with me. What you've got on the one shop, you've got 12 combs. Think about this. 12 combs for £1.29, OK? And they cost 10.75p per comb, OK? In the other shop next door, 6 combs. 6 combs, fewer combs. £1.30, more money. They cost 21.67p per comb. Let's make these numbers real for you, Rich. I'm going to upscale them. Let's round them up. Call that 11p a comb and call that 22p a comb. It's not a trick question, Rich. Which of those is the best deal?
12 combs.
12 combs. You're wrong there, aren't you, Rich? You're wrong. You're saying 12 combs. You're wrong. Do you know why it's not the best deal? Why? Because I only wanted one fucking comb. I only wanted one fucking comb. And by the way, a fucking comb is not like a shitting hat. It's not. But Rich, you are the problem with society. You thinking that you know which is the better deal. You are the problem with society. Wanting more stuff for your money, even when it's stuff you don't want, is the problem. We are buying things in order to not use them. People are making things, shipping them halfway around the world, we're buying them and then putting them in landfill. Surely this is madness. This is a problem, but we're in luck, ladies and gentlemen, because I have the solution. I think I can pull us out of the recession, and I'll tell you what it is after this short break. Welcome back to Modern Life is Goodish. My name is Dave Gorman, and we've been talking about conspicuous consumption, about buying things that you don't need, things that you know you don't need and that you don't want, and yet you still buy them. For example, we were talking about combs. Now, one shop on Bethnal Green Road sells 12 combs for £1.29. And Rich, you see that as 11 pence per comb. That's how your brain is wired. And you see the 6-piece comb set that's sold in the shop next door for £1.30 as 22 pence per comb. And we are hardwired to think 11 pence per comb is better than 22 pence per comb. It's a cheaper comb. We're brought up to see that as good. I see it differently. I'm in the market for a comb and I have £1.30 to spend. Now, the 12-piece comb set is the comb I want plus a penny and 11 combs I don't want. But the 6-piece comb set is the comb that I want, no pennies, and 5 combs that I don't want. Which is the better deal? It's fairly obvious to me. Either way, you get the comb that you want, so they kind of wipe each other out. Now, the penny, I can see that the 1 pence is better than the no pence. But how much better is it? I think it's exactly 1p better. And I hope I don't sound all showbiz, but I can afford to forget that penny. Honestly, 1p, no p, it's pretty much the same difference to me these days. I'm doing okay. They're neither here nor there. So really, the difference between these two deals is whether you end up with 11 combs you don't want or 5 combs you don't want. And I think we can all see that one of those is 6 combs worse than the other. Now, just in case you're wondering if there is any difference in the quality of the combs, I'll talk you through the contents. In the 12-piece set, you get 2 green, 2 red, 2 black, 2 pink, 2 blue, and 2 yellow combs. Okay, that is the 12-piece set. If you arrange it like that, you can see that it is effectively 2 sets of 6. If we swap them out with combs from the 6-piece set, you can see they are effectively exactly the same combs. But I promise you a solution to the problem, and I have it. So here it is. What do you do with the combs you don't want? I'll tell you what I did with mine, ladies and gentlemen. I put them on eBay. That's what I did. I listed 11 combs. 11 plastic combs. And I was very detailed. I'm a very good eBayer. I try to really describe what I'm selling to people. I don't want anyone to make a mistake in their purchasing. The set comprises two black plastic combs with a pointed handle, length, including handle, approximately 20.5 centimetres. Two red plastic combs with a rounded handle, length, including handle, approximately 15 centimetres. Two pink plastic combs with bi-thickness teeth. I was very proud of bi-thickness teeth. I'm working hard here, I'm a salesman. Length, approximately 17 centimetres, and so on, until you get to one yellow plastic comb with bi-thickness teeth, length, approximately 12.5 centimetres. At the bottom of the listing, I've added, if this is too many combs for you, check my other listings for a set of five combs. Because whichever shop I'd gone into first, I would have bought the 1 comb and have the spares. So I wanted to see, as a thought experiment, what would happen if you sold all the excess items you bought from these shops on eBay. What would be the result? Now, I've listed the 5 combs, like I say, that's combs, 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 5 plastic combs, and that listing ends with the words, if this is not enough combs for you, check my other listings for a set of 11 combs. I've also listed 15 assorted key rings. Not the yellow one, that's my key ring. 19 suction hooks, I only wanted 1, I'm selling the rest, and 3 potato peelers, ladies and gentlemen. You can't go wrong if it's a vegetable peeler you're after. You really can't. I am a salesman. I'm doing my best with these things. So the question, obviously, is how did they sell? And I'm going to tell you that later in the show, because right now I want to address another pound shop problem. I genuinely love the pound shops, but I make bad purchasing choices when I'm in them. The low price point seduces me. I think, oh, it's only £1, it doesn't really matter. Recently, I was in one of the pound shops and I saw a packet of envelopes. 2 dozen envelopes for £1. I thought, well, you always need envelopes. I'll have myself some of that. Absolutely, that'll be good. I took them home, and it was only when I got them home and unwrapped them that I saw they weren't quite what I thought they were. I'll show you. I've got one of them with me here. This is one of the envelopes that I got. You know, nice-looking envelope. Looks quite normal from that point of view. The problem with them is that. What am I meant to do with that? Why do these even exist? What possible reason could these actually need to exist? That's got to be more expensive to make than a normal envelope, hasn't it? I mean, look, it's like... That's the worst bribe ever, that, isn't it? Imagine putting that in the post. What could possibly go wrong? Look at that. I'm going to put it with the Queen's face out. I feel better with the Queen's out. It's nicer. Look at that. You can imagine putting that in the post. Think about it. It's actually possibly more secure like that than it would be in a plain envelope. Imagine being a postman and having that come round. It's like a mind game, that, isn't it? You think, I'm being tested here, I reckon. I'm being watched. I'm going to guard this one with my life. I reckon it might work. I think it actually might be more secure. I don't know. It's worth finding out, though. I mean, I bought the envelopes. I had 20 quid. So I thought, I'll have a go, just to see what would happen. I didn't do it with a £20 note. I'm not crazy. I did it with 5s. 4 5s. I got some, I put them in 4 different envelopes. I thought I'd do them in different ways. So 2 of them went into envelopes where I'd written words on. On the outside, it put Postal Test, envelope K29. You know, really get someone thinking when they're handling that. And then in the other one, I put Postal Test, envelope K27. I posted them all in different parts of London, but they are all eventually going to come back to the same address. And I figured if one postman's bringing 2 at the same time, he's going to be carrying those 2 thinking, where the hell is K28? They're going to blame me for this. It's not me. They're going to blame me. Now, weirdly, this is genuinely odd. I showed my wife I was doing this, because I put a fake name, but I put our address. I showed her I was doing this, and she said to me genuinely, she said, the trouble with that window there is it's going to let a lot of light in, so it might be possible to see what's in the envelope from the other side as well. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Not with these envelopes. I think she thought I was saying if it was possible for one of these to go all the way through the system face down. But she convinced me. She convinced me to put some paper in at the back to protect it that way. So I did. I put some notes inside. Inside one of the 2, which has envelope K20 something on, or whatever, I put in this. You have failed the test. With the other one that's in the postal test section, I put the note in saying, you have passed the test. And there were 2 other envelopes which didn't have postal test anything written on them, 2 other plain unmarked envelopes. In one of those, there's a note which says, please don't steal my money. And in the other, there's a note that says, contents, £25. I love the idea of someone who's on the rob having a sense of injustice. How dare they? Either somebody else has been in here before me, or that person is a liar. Yes, and you're a thief. Sorry, I put these in the envelopes and I posted them. If you don't believe me, here I am going off on my bicycle to post them. Get quite fast when I get going. There I go, there's the first one going in. As you can see, dropped. It's in the postbox, in case anyone thinks I'm making this up. The weird thing about doing this is that they insisted on a cameraman riding on my shoulders. And there goes number 4. And if you are going to post £5 notes into the mail, please do what I did, and please, please, please wear high vis. That's very, very important. But the question is, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, how many of them do you think got home? Who here, by show of hands, thinks that none of them came home? 1, 2, 3 people think none of them came home. Who here thinks all 4 of them came home? A nice number, that's good. We've confidence in society. We believe in that modern life is good. That's nice. But we're going to find out who's right when we come back from this short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Modern Life is Goodish. My name's Dave Gorman, and before the break, I told you about posting 4 £5 notes in transparent envelopes, and the question is, of course, how many of them came home? Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days. 2 days after I posted them, I came home to find that on my doorstep. Obviously, the orange thing is me. I've added that to the picture to cover my address. That is a beautiful thing. Every single last one of them came home. I have them with me, ladies and gentlemen. I will prove this happened to you. I have my 4 £5 notes have come back in envelopes that you can see. I'm going to just try and cover my address. I can see the fake name was Martin Andrews. And there you go. Maro, do you want to have a look at that? You can see they have a postmark and they've been through the post. It's all proper. You happy you got that? They're all the same. They've all got the marks on. And just for shits and giggles, let's hand these out for other people to open. So just on the front row here, Rich, you were lovely earlier. You take that one and pass that one to your friend there, and you two can have those two. And just go with the postal test ones first. Just be careful, let the camera make sure you can see. I want people to know that this isn't fixed. So can the camera see you as you're opening it? Make sure it's there for you. And I want you to confirm that's definitely been through the post, definitely contains a £5. You might as well start opening yours, sir. And does it have the note inside? Yep. Can you pull the note out for me, Rich? Let's have a look. This one says, you have passed the test, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, don't give him the £5. These are my £5. You have failed the test completely. It's there. Getting them. You've got the £5, you've got the note. That one, the note says, contents £25. It did come home. And yet the note says, please don't steal my money. And you've got the £5. There you go. £20, ladies and gentlemen, sent through the post, unharmed. It came straight home to Daddy. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, who here, just going to get rid of these, who here is watching this thinking, yeah, it's only a £5 though, wasn't it? I mean, who's going to risk their job for a £5? I can see why that worked out. Did it with tenors as well. There are 4 tenors. I've upped the ante, so I've written different numbers, PD12 and PD7. There are now 5 missing envelopes on the tenors. The notes are the same on the inside, except the one that did say contents £25. It now says contents £100, because if you're up in the ante, you're up in the ante. The question now becomes, did the £10 notes come home? Do you think we got a different result? Here I am posting them, the £10 notes going in the post, and 2 days later, that was on my doormat. 3 of them I know are home. 3 of them are in. I know that much. There's one that came home. There's another one that came home. That's fine. And there's the other one. And there's the 4th in an envelope with a Royal Mail orange sticker on it. Maro, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, if people are going to be able to read it, but that sticker basically says, we're sorry that this item has been damaged/delayed in the post. And it's been signed. You let me know when you got that, Maro. This, I genuinely don't know what's inside. I know that there are tenors in those 3, but what about this one? I'm going to hide my remote control for a moment. A bit awkward, that. And ladies and gentlemen, undamaged. The £10 is fine, ladies and gentlemen. 40 quid. 40 quid right there through the post. That's beautiful, isn't it? That is beautiful. Now, come on. Now that I know the money does come home, I thought I'll give it a go with 20s as well. Why not? Why not? So there's my 20s going off in the post, all 4 of them. As usual, the Queen is always facing out, always. Always leave the Queen facing out. There's a reason for that. Who could steal her? She's looking at you. Not only is she looking on you at that side, she's on the stamp on the other side looking at you as well. So the question now, ladies and gentlemen, is did the 20s come home? Now you know what happened to the 10s. Well, let's see. I'll tell you this. 2 days after I posted them, 1 came home, ladies and gentlemen, 1. Yeah, just 1. However, a day or 2 after that, I found this waiting for me. Again, I've had to censor the address, obviously. 2 of the envelopes, but only 2. So I've had 1 that's come through cleanly, and I've had 2 turn up in special "we're looking after you" envelopes. So one of the postal test ones has come through. That's there. That's absolutely fine. And 2 of these. Now, I don't know what's in them, but I think, that one is heavier than that one. I'm going to start with this one. It was a bit awkward opening that before, so I'm going to use a potato peeler to get into it. If anyone's interested in 3 of these, I'm your man. The first one, undamaged, posted, £20. That's 1. So the question is, does this contain 2 undamaged £20 notes? Let's have a look. Ooh, very dramatic. I'm excited. And it does. They all came home. That is amazing, isn't it? £140 of cash sent through the post and it all came home? How weird is that? And how weird also is it that when you start sending cash in envelopes, suddenly the taxman gets in touch? Coinky-dink? I don't think so. Now, here's the thing. I've done 5s. I've done 10s. I've done 20s. We all know what's going to happen next, don't we? There's only one thing you could do next, isn't there? You're all thinking it, aren't you? Yeah? Begins with an F. Yeah? Fijian dollars, ladies and gentlemen. Fijian dollars. That's the obvious answer. What else? You've got to do Fijian dollars next, haven't you? Except you can't. You can't do it in Fijian dollars. It's not possible to do it. And there is a reason. You know, I've always said, I always put the Queen facing out. You saw that. There's my 20s, there's my 10s. And I told you the reason. You can't do that with Fijian dollars. I thought you could. That's why I first thought of them. The Fiji always used to have the Queen on their notes as well. That's why I thought about using them. But then I realised when I went to try and get some, you can't, not anymore. According to Wikipedia, and it's the facts. Look at this. Coins and banknotes continued to feature Queen Elizabeth II until 2013, when they were replaced with pictures of plants and animals. They have replaced our monarch with plants and animals just because they're a republic and have been for more than 20 years and she's no longer their monarch. How dare they? What's worse, they've stopped having a bank holiday for her birthday just because she's not their queen anymore. It's disgusting. And I'm not the only one who thought so. Many other people thought so. I know there were. I've read their comments all over the internet. I have a little hobby, ladies and gentlemen. My hobby is collecting the outrage and the pomposity that lurks in the bottom half of the internet and turn them into something that I like to call a found poem, which I would like to perform for you now. Well done, Fiji. I, for one, am very impressed. You are growing up. Maybe one day we in Britain will do the same. This is pathetic, Fiji. One word. Absolutely pathetic. I have often wondered what the letters F-I-J-I stand for, and now I know. They obviously stand for Fiji is just idiotic. Lol. Because that's what Fiji is. Just idiotic. Lol. I don't understand the point of this. What is achieved by them no celebrating Queenie's birthday? It is not as though they can actually stop her birthday from existing. So what is the point? Is there a point? Because I don't see it. It's pointless, right? Dear Mom, it's your birthday. I know you's enjoying your birthday, but guess what, you majestic? Some people in a made-up country that's probably like thousands a mile away have decided not to celebrate it. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo them. Yeah, I know, she'll say. It's no biggie. I is the Queen. Dear Bucksfizz 1981_3. Your joke about the letters F-I-J-I standing for Fiji is just idiotic makes no sense. Because if the word Fiji means Fiji is just idiotic, then the first word is meaningless. And what you've really said is Fiji is just idiotic is just idiotic. So now who is idiotic? I suggest it is you. Open brackets. That said, I agree with the sentiment of your post. Fiji is most certainly idiotic. Close brackets. Well, 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 Fiji. If you don't want the Queen on your money, then I guess you will no longer be wanting any of our money. Because that also has the Queen on it. The aid, if indeed we are sending you any, should be cut off forthwith. In my capacity as a mother, let me tell you that I recognize this Fijian behavior. My sons were exactly the same. They think they want independence, and they think they can cope with independence. But at some point, when they have lost their job or discovered that their wife has been unfaithful, they will come running back to their mother. Trust me, Fiji will return to the fold. In a year or two, they will be asking to suckle on the Queen's teats once more. I thank you. The Bill Roth Quartet, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? We're taking a quick break. We'll be back very shortly. Don't go away. Welcome back to Modern Life is Goodish. My name's Dave Gorman. What we've been talking about in this show is money, which is a thorny issue to talk about on television because television has certain tropes and ways of behaving whenever it talks about money. It's a very patronising medium, I find, television. It gets obsessed. If any member of the public ever gets given money or even earns money in front of a television camera, a presenter is always there saying, oh, go on then, what are you going to spend it on? Yeah, what are you going to spend it on? And the dignity of money is in choosing to spend it any which way you like. It's yours. You'll make your own decisions. If your boss came to you on a Friday and said, well done, here's your money for this week, what are you going to spend it on? You'd tell him to sod off, wouldn't you? How bloody dare you? Now, I want to do something different tonight. I want to do something radical for British television. What I want to do is give some money away and not ask the question, what are you going to do with it? I want to prove to other people in this industry that you are capable of not being nosy about what other people do with money. Now, as you know, I posted £140 in the post in transparent envelopes, and it all came home, which means I have 140, 4 20s, 4 10s, 4 5s here. I am going to give a member of the audience a chance to win this money tonight. Who here is excited about the chance of winning £140 tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. When I said to the team, am I allowed to give money away in the show? Is that all right? They said, well, yeah, but there are rules. There has to be some kind of competitive element. You can't just randomly give it to someone who wants it. You know, you've got to find a reason. So we sat down. There's only a small team working the show. We sat down and we was like, okay, so what can we do to give it away? And one of the team, one of the young guys who works on the show said, well, you know, why don't we be really nice with it and give it to the person who deserves it most? So what do you mean? He said, well, how about giving it to the poorest person there? That is obscene. How patronising would we be then? Imagine the questions I'd be asking them. Go on, how little have you got? Go on, tell us. Oh, what about you? Have you got less? See if you can outpour them. No, that would be horrible. I can't be that person. I'm not going to do that. That would be absolutely horrible. But that sort of led to a weird thought of why don't we do it in reverse? Why don't we give it to the person who's already got the most money? Because I'll still be asking intrusive questions and it'll still feel a bit weird, but the person who will be bullying will be the richest person here, and who gives a shit about them? And I know it's a bit perverse because we do then end up giving a rich person £140 and presumably that's chump change to them. But at the same time, that means we don't need to ask what they're going to do with it because they're just going to put it in their pocket and use it as spending money. So that's all right. So that's what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands up if you think you are the richest member of tonight's audience. And that is the most uncomfortable collection of British people I think I've ever seen in my life. It's such an awkward, weird thing to do, isn't it? We don't like it. We don't like it at all. It's very uncomfortable. I tell you, everyone put their hands up. Everyone put their hands up. Okay. And now, safety in numbers. Put your hands down if you earn less than £30,000 a year. Okay, now put your hands down if you earn less than £40,000 a year. Now put your hands down if you earn less than £50,000 a year. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like a ley line of wealth here. There's probably someone very confused at the back thinking, I normally have a man to put my hand up for me. I don't know how this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. Okay, 10 of you. Or make a little jump then. Put your hands down if you earn less than £70,000 a year. Both of them. 2, 3, 4. What I love is that it hasn't occurred to any of them to just lie and This is how they make the money in the first place. It's this kind of callous attitude. Put your hands down if you earn less than £90,000 a year. There's two down here. What's your name, sir?
Dominic.
Dominic, okay. Dominic and? Al, okay. We did 90 last time, didn't we? So let's do the 100. Who earns less? You drop out at 100.
Drop out.
You're in.
I'd rather not be.
You've won £140. It is yours to do with as you please, sir. But you do have to make the walk and come and collect it. So that people at home get to see and ever so slightly despise you. Thank you very much. Step up into the light, sir. What I love about this is that there were people who were clearly earning quite a lot of money who were feeling awkward and they were thinking, oh, should I lie? Should I just drop out now? And there were other people thinking, if I keep my hand up, the tax man's going to be interested, so I'm putting my hand down. But none of the poor people thought, I'll just lie. I'll just get it. How's he going to check? It'll be all right. Unless you are one of those people. You don't have to answer these questions. These are intrusive questions, and I genuinely respect your privacy. But what do you do for a living? You can lie if you want.
I make up numbers for a retail group.
You make up numbers for a retail group. Oh, if I didn't hate you before. There's a little bit of me hated you a bit more there. But rules are rules, and I promised you.
Thank you.
So that is yours, sir. Yes, shake my hand. You must do with it as you please. You don't have to tell us what you're going to do with it. But if you're interested in buying some combs, there is an eBayer I might be able to steer you towards if that's interesting. OK. Treat him with the disdain or the joy you decide is your own call. Head back to your seats. But I mentioned the eBay auction. I haven't told you the results of that yet, and I'm going to. I promised I would, and I will. These, as you know, are the 5 things that I put on eBay. There's combs, 11 plastic combs, there's 5 plastic combs, 19 suction hooks, 15 key rings, and 3 potato peelers. And that should end with, and a partridge in a pear tree, I think, as a sentence. Anyway, those are the items that I have put on eBay. This is how the auctions went, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just deal with the combs, first of all. Well, let's see. After 3 days left, this is a 7-day auction, with 3 days left, I've got nobody watching any of the combs. But I have got a bid. How much have they bid? They have bid the minimum 99p that I'm asking. Let's move it on in time. A bit later, with only 1 day and 7 hours left to run, I've now got 2 bids on the 11 combs, as well as 3 bids on the 5 combs. How much did I get on the 2 bids for the plastic combs, for the 11, and how much for the 3 bids on the 5? Let's have a look. On the 11, 99p. Even there's 2 bids, somehow it's stuck at the minimum price. And with the 3 bids on that, £1.04. People would rather spend 5p more to have fewer combs they don't want. Let's deal with the other items. 19 suction hooks. It cost me £1.69 to buy the suction hooks. I only wanted 1 suction hook. I sold the others for £1.10, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that the one I wanted now only cost me £1.28. Simple, I'm winning, that's good. The 15 key rings, I only wanted 1 key ring. The originals cost me £1.49. I was prepared to pay that for one of them, but now, because I sold that one for 99p, minus the postage and packaging, I've actually spent only £1.19 on my key ring. I'm a much happier bunny with that. Finally, the 3 potato peelers, ladies and gentlemen. They cost me £1.15 to buy the 4 potato peelers. I've got the one that I want. I use it for opening envelopes. There it is. I was prepared to pay £1.15 for that. But I wanted to get some of my money back. And I did get some of my money back because I sold it, ladies and gentlemen, for £1.85. And I think some of you are ahead of me. You take away the postage and packaging, ladies and gentlemen. How much did that cost me? It didn't cost me anything. In fact, I made a profit of 1 penny. There is a better way of putting this, ladies and gentlemen. The easy way of saying it is this. Free peeler. There. I have made a profit on the peelers, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to peel our way out of recession. This is the answer. You just invest in peelers. That's how he made his money. He's a potato peeler investor. That's how this works. This is how we're going to dig it. Go, buy yourselves peelers and sell them. They make money. This is the answer. This is the way forward. And I can tell from the way people are reacting, they're thinking, Dave, how come you are still talking? Surely you should have used that to ride out the show, saying thanks for watching and good night. That was your climactic finale. Why are you still talking after you've had a free potato peeler? And there is a reason, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still talking. Because life, when it starts going well, it starts going really well. When good things happen to you, other good things start happening to you. I'm on a roll. Life is sweet. The day, and I mean the very day that I successfully sold those 3 peelers for more than I paid for 4 peelers, that very day, I came home all excited to share the news with Mrs. Gorman about my penny and my peeler. And she was there, and she said to me, darling, I've been having a think, and I think I accept your point about the cushion. I've decided to move it out of the bedroom and use it as a cushion to give it a purpose. And I hugged her, and I said, I've always loved you with all my heart, but please tell me, what are you going to do with the cushion? And she said, well, I've decided it's a nice place for the shit in. Like I say, it just gets better and better and better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Good night.